is Dr. Ali. I am a pediatrician. If you are a parent of special need kid, then this video is for you. My relationship with special need kid was a patient-doctor relationship. They get sick, I admit them to the hospital, make them feel better, and then send them home. I counsel the parents about when to come back, tell them that they have to give the million meds the kid is on time and do not miss any dose. Till 2.5 years ago, when my life has completely changed. I myself became the primary caregiver of a kid with special needs. And oh yeah, it is so different on the parent side. So if you feel exhausted all the times, if you wake up with anger and resentment because of the challenges ahead of you, if you just feel irritated towards someone telling you an advice that should be helpful advice and they have no idea about the stress that you're going through, if you are just not sure whether you're doing the right thing about your child, if you talk to multiple specialists, everyone is telling you something and some of these things are conflicting to each other, or if you feel jealous from a typical family, or you feel guilty about any of the above, I want to let you know you are not alone. You are not alone. And so let's first start by defining who is a special need kid. A special need kid is a kid who has an impairment in an area of functioning, and typically this negatively impacts the child's life. So sometimes it could be physical, like muscular dystrophy, epilepsy, chronic asthma, cystic fibrosis, diabetes, or any major physical health problem. Or it could be something that affects the neurodevelopment of a child, like learning disability, Down syndrome, autism, ADHD. And the more subtle one that a lot of people do not consider it to be a special need, child with special need kid, is like extreme emotions like depression and anxiety, extreme anger, defiance, post-traumatic stress disorder, reactive attachment disorder, and finally, a kid who has some kind of sensory impairment. So a visual impairment, a hearing impairment, blindness, or deafness. So if your child falls in one of these categories, then your child has a special need. And here are some tips for you. Number one, find support. That is to say, talk to a parent who gets it. You will be amazed at how many coping skills you will learn, find about new resources, and you are not the only one that feel guilty about your child's extra needs, and it feels good that you are not alone. Tip number two, ask for help. So if you think there's something going wrong with your child, ask your pediatrician to be referred to a specialist. If you think that your child is struggling academically, ask the teacher for other resources. They are there. You just need to ask for them. What I really care about is tip number three. Take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself to be able to take care of others. And the most common thing I hear from parents is, I don't have time for me. And I am begging you to find the time to take care of yourself and recharge the battery. We're not asking for a lot. 5 to 10 minutes a day that is strictly dedicated to yourself. Maybe you can do something that relaxes you. Drink a cup of coffee, read a funny book, watch a movie, maybe meditation, and you can do some exercise. And it doesn't have to be, big one. It's just maybe cardio or stretching or yoga. After taking care of yourself, there are two things that you should be taking care of. Tip number four, taking care of your relationship. And I want to talk about this a little bit. Relationship is hard, and having a child with special needs, a lot of other issues arise, primarily out of whom the partner that is carrying the burden, the parent who's carrying the burden, and how the parents deal with the emotions involved. But let's agree about this. There is no child with special need who is responsible for dissolving a marriage. Someone might come and tell me, oh, well, but there is really a high correlation between having a child with special need and divorce rates. That is true, but that is primarily from the parents who have to learn new skills and how they handle their emotions differently. So, usually parents with special need kids need to learn extra skills. And it's very rare that both parents are at the same page at the same time. Usually one is early in the learning process and the other has already developed and adopted new strategies. And that's usually the parent who becomes critical and impatient while the other partner feels left out and ineffective. So take care of your relationship. And tip number one for this is accept each other's strength and weakness. Tip number two, it is very common for parents with special needs to feel angry, to feel guilty, to be regretful. But if you get caught for long in these type of feelings, this will shift your focus from taking care of your child and focusing on your relationship. Tip number three, try to dedicate a time for both of you, even half an hour a day. Again, when is the time? I would say the best time is when kids go to bed at night and you can discuss anything you want, but please don't discuss anything related to the kids. Tip number four, try to learn something together. Studies have shown that when couples learn something together, they usually bond, their bond gets stronger and it strengthens their relationship. And finally, you need to communicate better. No, your partner does not read your mind. It is very important to say exactly how you feel. I prefer to do this face-to-face because you never want to text when you are mad. The other thing as a parent of special need that is important for you to take care of are the siblings. Siblings tend to be the forgotten voice, and that's when I created the RISE project. So R stands for relieve their burden. It's very important as a parent of special need to acknowledge the siblings' complex emotions, to talk to your child and tell them that their feelings, even the negative ones, are okay, and to reassure them. I stands for involve. So involve them in problem solving so they can feel as a part of a unified team. And this will require you to explain the siblings' disability in an age-appropriate language. And in my next videos, I'm gonna teach you how to do that and what language to use. S is to support this sibling. So usually try to set a time, alone time with the sibling and give them some space and relieve them from the family's responsibilities. So if you can give them sleepover or summer camps, just time for themselves to relax and think about their life. And finally, the E, which is to empower them. Being a sibling with a special need kid has a lot of benefits, and this will give them more positive experience and appreciate the sibling better. And then also using yoga to deal with whatever feelings they have. And again, in my next videos, we'll talk about yoga and how to deal with feelings. So follow me for the next video.